Well, Atiba, you've played Leicester 3 times in the league, won all 3. A couple of them were close, one comfortable. What's the key to beating this team?
There's no key. What they do is what they do. They do it really well. They're a good team. They move the ball well. A lot of shooters, and the inside presence is very strong. So they're a well-rounded offensive unit, and defensively they're solid.
And given the league standings, a really important game between you two tonight.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's like 2 for 1 almost tonight. So it's gonna be a battle. And
it's actually fascinating when you look over the last month. The top 3 have been dropping games. It's not easy at this time of year.
No, it's not. It's not. Everyone's getting stronger. I think you're looking at all different teams throughout the table, and the bottom teams, so to speak, are getting stronger.
And where do you think you are as a team, both in terms of these last few weeks of the regular season, but also preparation for the playoffs?
I think mentally we're solid. I think we showed some fatigue, and we've been up and down a little bit, but as a core, as a mentality, we're strong.
Good luck in the game. Well, Rob, big game tonight, second against third. It's one you really need to win.
Yeah, we have 7 games left, and obviously this is our last time playing Sheffield, so certainly would help in the push, for the final spots there. And it is what it is. They're a good team. We played them tough last time, and hopefully tonight, we can play a little bit better.
And I know you're a one game at a time, but what do you make of the run into the league here for the top 3 teams?
Yeah, it's everybody's, has a tough schedule. I don't know about London. I think they've played a lot of games already, but it's a tough schedule coming in. You don't know what's going to happen. I think the important thing for everyone now is to try to stay as healthy as you can. That could be a real problem with all the fixtures coming up.
Yeah, and we've seen how competitive it is with the top 3 all losing games over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think that goes to show you how strong the league is top to bottom now. It took some teams some time to figure it out, but you look at these games that are coming up, it doesn't matter where you are in the table, it's going to be a tough night.
And this Sheffield team, obviously you've lost 3 league games to them, 2 of them really close, you could have won. What have you got to do to switch that into a win?
Yeah, score a little bit more than we did last time. I didn't think we scored as efficiently as we could have, but defensively you got to really lock in, especially Clay. He's really difficult to deal with. We're down a couple guys tonight. We got to find a way to produce on the defensive end.
Yeah, there might be some heavy minutes with 2 players out for you guys.
Yeah, right now, we have 7 in our regular rotation ready to go. We got some of the young guys on the bench. Obviously, Victor Nduku's here as well. We'll see what we can do. It's going to be a challenge to be missing the backup point and the backup center, but hopefully the guys can step up.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and he's here in the Super League. Leicester Riders with a game in hand against tonight's opponent. Victory is a must, and you, the sixth fan in the stand, you need to bring the energy. You always bring the noise. So get behind your Riders tonight. So let's find out who's the boy this evening. Make some noise if you're supporting the team brought Sheffield Sharks tonight. And now let me hear you supporting the Leicester Riders tonight. Make some noise. Okay, the Riders fans, it's that time. Tip-off is amongst us. So Riders fans, up onto your feet as we get ready for tip-off here at the Mattioli Arena. Up onto your feet, Riders fans. As the starting fives have made their way onto the floor. It's time to get behind your Riders tonight. Let's get behind your Riders for the first time tonight on defense.
Fouling on a fadeaway off the 1-foot jump shot. That's not intelligent basketball.
Yeah, you just think if he makes that shot, you say, tip your hat and say, well done. It's not an easy shot. Hunter has a rattler come back out.
80% free throw shooter as well, Jalen Hunter.
You could see his frustration on the miss as that first one rattled out. Here's McGill. Groves rolling to the basket. His shot was blocked, but there was a foul call first, a grab from behind by Spencer Johnson.
And that's why Groves can be so hard to guard, because what essentially the Riders are doing here, off this pass here, after the screen, he's not rolling, he's sort of fading away at the top there, and the defenders have to honor that. So the backdoor cut is open for a shooter like Groves.
Knocked away. Jackson has it. Groves chasing back. Jackson lays it in off the glass.
Unbelievable. Great individual defense there from Zach Jackson. He's rewarded then on his single man fast break, who very confidently and in control finishes the play.
Anderson for three, leaves that one short, and Thompson gobbles up the rebound. Hunter loses the ball, gets it back, and finds Johnson underneath.
Unbelievable. Not only did he just prevent a turnover, he got an assist.
Anderson running quickly down court for the jam.
Oh, and that's where you feel the numbers can work in the favour of Sheffield Sharks. They can really deploy a high-intensity strategy here today and try and outrun the shortened rotation of Leicester Riders.
Hunter off the back iron. Here's Clay to the turnaround, leaves it short, and Johnson grabs it. Here's Jackson underneath, and Anderson says, I got him. Foul is called.
Ricky McGill just anticipating that pass in, gambled on the struggle for the steal though, which gives the baseline spin for Zach Jackson, who's excellent in there, and Jamal Anderson having to come across and help, and create the foul. Yeah, just looked like a little knock on the back of the head there as Zach Jackson misses his first free throw.
Well, they're normally a pretty reliable free throw shooting team, Leicester, but they've had a little struggle early on.
Zach Jackson's been one of those players whose strength year after year in his free throws. I remember his first year at Leicester Riders, he wasn't a great free throw shooter. I think it was mid-50s, 60%, and now he's 83, 84% free throw shooter.
And passes deflected, and Johnson comes up with it. Here's Abercrombie for three, back iron.
That's a good shot as well, that's what you'd want. I mean, it's a quick shot, but Riley Abercrombie stepping into it.
That's a good shot as well, but Nixon can't knock it down.
Yeah, there's not too many bad shots for Prentice Nixon, is there? He's such a talent on the offensive end.
Abercrombie had another decent look at it. McGill keeps it in play.
Oh, two good looks there from Riley Abercrombie. Again, especially in this arena, you expect him to knock those down.
McGill. McGill, late shot clock, gets enough room to get it away, but that will go all the way out of bounds.
Yeah, not a great offense there from Sheffield Sharks, very stagnant. The ball was passed really in the same area there. Doesn't get the defense shifting. Defense having to work too hard there.
Abercrombie. Down low. It goes to Thompson. Good challenge by Clay, and he gets the rebound. Oh, look at the space for Groves. Oh, they got lucky there, Leicester. Oh, it's knocked away. Is there a foul call there? Anderson has hit the deck, and there is going to be a foul against Thompson.
Well, take a look at that one. That's a really good look there from Groves, who misses that, and then Jamal looks to steal the ball, and that's what he's so good at, Jamal Anderson, year after year. He's one of those guys that's been able to be one of those top contenders as defensive players of the year.
I think Thompson will be somewhere near the top of that list this year as well.
Of course, now Thompson on the early foul, and that's the thing now that Coach Paternoster is going to have to worry about, just because he's a player that they need to play heavy minutes here today.
Ball backs it up. It comes all the way out to Nixon. Clay going into Thompson, and he has to back away a little bit there.
Yeah, smart play there from Donovan Clay to identify that instead of settling for a jump shot. Took it right at Thompson, who's a little subdued there in his defensive pressure on Clay.
Here's Thompson inside, and he just drops it in nicely.
Smart play there from Thompson. Doesn't put it on the floor, just keeps it high and is able to elevate for a soft touch finish.
Well, we didn't mention, but it was Johnson's second foul, that last one. So he's in a little bit of a precarious spot. Anderson off the mark, rebound Thompson. Johnson's in a difficult spot on the floor, and he gets called for a travel. And I assume it is he that's going to go to the bench as Wright checks in.
Yeah, frustrating start there for Spencer Johnson. As you say, Dan, picked up 2 fouls, and he gets a turnover there, which is going to give him some extended minutes on the bench, which I think Coach Paternoster was not planning on doing.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he brings him back in the second quarter, as Nixon is off the mark. I know last week against, who was it last week? I've forgotten, London. Jackson got 2 fouls in the first quarter and didn't come back. Jackson off the glass.
Good finish there from Zach Jackson. Very impressed with you, Daniel Rowledge. All the games you commentate, you're able to recall that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All
I
these
didn't
games
even
merged into
commentate
one.
on that game. I just watched it.
That's right. That's right. I did.
It's Clay going to the rim and he laid it in.
Nice finish there. And there's his versatility. Donovan Clay, you see his athleticism, but his control. He's so mobile for a big man.
Here's Jackson. Down low to Thompson. Spinning baseline. Getting past Anderson for 2.
Great move there, Charles Thompson. You see him now being able to insert his dominance in the low block.
Tough shot. Oh, man. What a bucket that is from Ricky McGill.
2 baskets for Ricky McGill, and they've all been tough, Dan. That is a sign of good things to come for Sheffield Sharks if Ricky McGill is firing on those levels.
Thompson. Jackson. Clay putting pressure on the ball, too much pressure on the ball. The foul is called, and Jackson will go to the line for 2.
Zach Jackson just always seems to find a way to create something out of nothing. He had very little options there. Shot clock was winding down, but yet he sort of gets in that little pocket there where he's able to be a threat. Nice use of the pump fake initially as well, which creates space on Jamal Anderson. Good play.
Martino's going to come in for the first time for Groves. Oh, Leicester continue to struggle a bit from the free throw line.
Oh, 76% free throw shooting team, the Leicester Riders, 3rd in the SLB this year.
I just feel like there ought to be one team shooting it above 80%, but maybe I'm just a harsh marker. There isn't this year. Here's Nixon stringing the 3.
Wow, it wasn't going to be too long before Prentice Nixon got on the score sheet and knocking down that 3. Joins the scoring party.
Here's Wright. Out to Hunter. His 3 doesn't go. Thompson gets his hands on it. Abercrombie keeps it alive. Wright for 3. He knocks down a triple.
Well, that's the guy that can really contribute off the bench, Ethan Wright. And I think when your rotation is limited, you rely on guys like him to do that little bit more.
Here's McGill. He thought about the 3, put it on the floor instead. I think Wright will be most of the bench points today for Leicester, if not all of them. He's looking for another one. No, he goes down to instead. Thompson, great pass. Abercrombie underneath.
That's good vision there from the big man and excellent movement without the basketball, Riley Abercrombie. And sometimes when you're a shooter, that's the biggest criticism. You're just in the corner waiting for an open shot that never comes. But you see Riley Abercrombie, perfectly timed cut, lost his man, good finish.
Nixon. All the way across court. What a pass that is, but Martino can't knock it down.
It was an excellent pass there. And Jordan Martino, how many times have we seen him knock down a shot like that over the years?
Right. Oh, thrown straight to Anderson. That was not a great pass. Nixon looking to attack. Blocked by Wright.
Wow, it's great defense there from Ethan Wright.
Locked up and jammed in by Abercrombie.
Defense turns into offense instantly. Great break there from the Leicester Riders. And here we go, initial defense there, block shot. Ethan Wright outlets the ball.
McGill fires up. That one rims out. Well, there's probably an offense each left here if Leicester don't go quick. They could go 2 for 1. Doesn't look like they're going to. Thompson spinning past Anderson again, and he rocks the rim.
Charles Thompson, again with the use of that pump fake, able to elevate and slam it home.
Oh, McGill doesn't look like he's moving quite freely, whether he caught one in the stomach or something. Grimace on his face. Here's Nixon driving in, kicks it out. Retino for 3, big shot, needed that. Jordan Retino with the triple on the buzzer to cut into a 5-point game.
That was huge, and what a great decision from Prentice Nixon. Prentice Nixon's penetration created that. Instead of taking a left-hand layup against the best shot blocker in the SLB, he throws the ball back out to Jordan Retino, who steps into that one and knocks it down.
Well, it didn't seem to pause at all.
No.
What a fast quarter that was here at the Mattioli Arena. Leicester Riders leading the Sheffield Sharks by 5 after 10 minutes. And here are the numbers. Leicester shooting the ball a lot better than Sheffield, and rebounding the ball better than Sheffield. And in some ways, it might feel, when you look at the numbers, they could be up more than 5.
They could. Of course, they've got 3 free throws there that they haven't been able to convert. But yeah, if I didn't see the scoreline, Dan, you're right. I would suspect Leicester Riders would be having a more comfortable lead than they have.
Well, let's take a look back at the highlights from the opening quarter here. And it felt very evenly matched, but then Leicester just managed to squeeze out a little bit of a lead. But it's at the defensive end. The reality is, if they're able to keep Sheffield to 17 points a quarter, they're going to have a really good shot at it.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's been one of the things. Team Lloyd said at the beginning of the game, it wasn't so much the mental attitude of his team, but it was physically. He feels like they're fatigued. So, you know, this could be an opportunity for Leicester Riders if they keep applying this pressure. And you got to remember as well, Sheffield Sharks coming off the loss against Bristol. It's a game, you know, you would expect them to win. They're contending for the championship this year, and they lose that by 7. So, you know, Leicester Riders too can take advantage of you know, being frail in form.
The interesting thing, we talked about Leicester and their lack of depth. 4 of their starters played the whole first quarter, but so too did 4 of Sheffield's starters. They only made 1 substitution that Retino came in, although now Reese is in for the first time, and Brooks is in for the first time for Leicester. Coach is almost going sub for sub. Jackson, under all sorts of pressure, gets the shot away. Rebound by Nixon.
Excellent on-ball defense out. It's a difficult shot, even to the point where Jackson had to sort of slingshot it behind his head to readjust, to get it off.
Nixon. 5 on the shot clock. Fires up the triple. Back iron. Abercrombie just reaches that. Hunter's going to take the 3, but he's not going to make it. Here's Anderson out in the open court. Anderson driving to the rim for 2.
Wow, such a good move. You see him attack, slow down, and then a burst of speed, which got him by Abercrombie, and a nice right-hand finish there for Jamal Anderson.
Brooks hands off to Wright. Wright gets all the way to the basket for 2.
Wow, he's done really well there. He didn't have a lot of space to work with, and he sort of jumped through the 2 Sheffield Sharks defenders there for the finish.
Reese, mid-range, off the mark. Abercrombie grabs his 4th rebound of the game. Here's Brooks. Abercrombie. Foul is called, and Abercrombie will go to the free throw line.
It's been a good start for Riley Abercrombie. He's 4 points personal. He's had a couple good looks. I think he's one of those players that you need to have a particularly big game when you've got a shortened rotation.
Well, a team of Lions just showing off now, making 3 substitutions at the same time. Rob Paternoster can only dream of such luxury tonight. Jeffries in for the first time. Groves is back. Glasgow Jr. in as well.
But you were saying this pre-game, sometimes as well you can get you to a situation where you've got too many players and it's hard to find a 5 that work well together. Basketball is all about rhythm, it's all about momentum, and sometimes coaches can really struggle to find that right pattern, that right combination of players. But whereas Rob Paternoster doesn't really have that issue here today.
There aren't too many teams that would have Jeffrey in this league that would have Jeffries and Glasgow on the bench and not get them into the game until 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
Because they're both really talented players, but the team of Lions, as we say, has a lot of talented players to deal with, and that brings its own challenges as well as its benefits. Jackson trying to use his size against Glasgow. Gets into the key. It's up and it's in, and the foul is called. And that will push the lead out to 8. And Team of Lions had already called a timeout before that basket, but his team are going to be down 8 now, as Jackson will have a chance to make it 9 on the other side of this break.
Well, Sheffield Church are going to have to make an adjustment. They cannot leave Rodney Glasgow Jr. alone there with Zach Jackson. Zach Jackson's got the size, strength and offensive talent that Rodney Glasgow's not going to be able to deal with down on that mid-block.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the show that Sheffield have won all 3 league games against Leicester this season. Indeed, it's the first time they've beaten Leicester in the league head-to-head since 2010-11. Leicester had won every other head-to-head since then. They haven't swept the Riders since 2004-05. It's been very much a split. That was basically the line. Sheffield won all the head-to-heads basically before that, and Leicester all of them after that, just about. There's 1 or 2 anomalies along the way, but Sheffield very much on top this year, although Leicester would feel like actually we could be 2-1 up in this head-to-head. They probably should have won the game here early in the season. They certainly could have won the last game up at the Cannon Medical Arena a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and what Sheffield Church have done really good at in this matchup this year is defense. They have never allowed the Leicester Riders to score anything in their 80s. Now, Leicester Riders are a team that average 85 points per game, and Sheffield have held them to 76, 61, 79. So defense has always been that consistent thing. At the moment, Leicester Riders got 27 points. They're scoring the ball freely. So is this the remedy?
Well, 27 points with 5 missed free throws already.
Yeah.
Groves puts it on the floor. Able to just secure it. Even though Wright got a little hand on that. It's a great finish.
Unbelievable. Good skill and ability to be able to do that. Jacob Groves just so long and skillful. Difficult to stop.
Abercrombie down to Jackson. Johnson, who has come back in the game on those 2 fouls, and Reese, a little nod to referee Griffin to acknowledge that foul.
Good adjustment defensively there from Sheffield Sharks when Jeffries was matched up on Zach Jackson, a low block. Help came over straight away from Reese. There's a clear instruction given from Atiba Lions, I think, after that timeout. Zach Jackson.
I was going to say, good distribution of fouls as well from Sheffield. 6 fouls on 6 different players. Brooks knocks down the 3.
Well, we said it, didn't we? We need Leicester Riders are going to need guys to step up, and very good sign for Brooks as his teammate Duke Shelton is in celebration.
Well, nobody will be rooting harder than Duke Shelton tonight, because he'll know he ought to be out there. And it's Groves again showing great footwork.
Wow, and that's something that we don't see as much of this year. He's such a formidable 3-point shooter. 45% from the perimeter. We often forget about his ability on the block. 6'9" as well, so he's got good length.
This is the interesting time for Leicester when Hunter and Thompson are out of the game. because it really changes what they do, particularly the point guard. They have no real backup. Here's Jeffries for three. Jackson with the rebound.
It's a bad shot, Dan, really bad. Very quick, but no rebounders inside, and it's not like it's an open quick shot either. It's difficult because you catch the ball behind you, having to square up, and as soon as you shoot the ball, you've got a hand in your face.
Right. Gets it to Johnson. Late shot clock here for Leicester. Johnson throws it up. Brooks needs to be quick. And did he get it off in time? Well, he didn't. And it'll be a shot clock violation.
Unfortunate there for Brooks, just because he did so well on the offensive glass. He was half a second away from being able to get to the free throw line. But it wasn't meant to be. 24-second shot clock.
Well, Hunter is back now for Leicester. I think short breaks are going to be the order of the day. Glasgow to Reese. Reese drives, kicks out to Retino for another three off the mark.
Another good look though from Jordan Retino, and Reese does a good job there of creating for his teammate.
Hunter driving hard. The pressure from the shot blocker made him lay that off the mark. Here's Groves. Again, putting the ball on the floor, spinning into the key. A little too much spinning for the referee's like, as the travel is called.
There's a lot of spinning down and perhaps a shuffle of the pivot foot, and you can see Jacob Groves frustrated there because he's had an array of nice moves so far. You see him on the pump fake there, ball behind the back, spin. Oh, difficult to see.
Well, Nduku into the game for the first time. Got some decent minutes in the last meeting against Sheffield in the second quarter as well. Ultrarobia in for the first time for Sheffield. Hunter drops it down to Nduku, but quick hands from Reese to pull it away.
He was right there, wasn't he? That's what you want to when you're a youngster. You want to score the ball early after entry into a game.
Groves looking to attack, and there's a foul called. Is it Nduku or is it Thompson? Nduku saying, it's me, ref, it's me, ref. Good teammate.
Smart teammate, Daniel, smart teammate. He knows it. That Charles Thompson has one foul already. And
Nduku, we don't see a lot of him obviously, but he's still coming through the pathway, still plays for Loughborough in NBL 1 and in Bucks. He was sensational again this season in the Bucks run to the final and victory again for Loughborough, and obviously plays a big part of their NBL Division 1 team as well. Here's Hunter. 2 feet in the paint to the spin. That was really nice. It deserved some points, that. It was pretty.
It was. He did the hard part, didn't he? And
oh, it's almost stolen away by Johnson.
Wow, front row is ready. The referee was pretty agile too. You see him jump there. Very good. Very good for the referee.
Not often we get replays of misses, but this one's worth looking back.
If that makes it in the top 10 plays this week, Dan, it's been we've been struggling for highlights.
Here's Groves with a highlight of his own. Swishes it home, and Sheffield have got it back down to 3. So Leicester are going to take their first time out of the game with 3:46 to go.
Jacob Groves, one of those players I think he's going to be difficult for Leicester Riders to match up on. You would think naturally an Abercrombie would be a good fit for him, but at this moment in time, Jacob Groves looks very aggressive at the moment. He's not settling for his jump shot. He's looking to create for himself, and he has 8 points personal now in this game.
Well, it is that thing of how sustainable it all is for Leicester, given the minutes that they're all going to play. I mean, Abercrombie's played 15 minutes. Jackson hasn't come out of the game at all yet. And even though we talked about Atiba running his starters all the way through the first quarter. He's gone into the bench here in the second, and that, I guess, is the thing. It's the longer term. That's what you have with that extra depth.
Yeah, and sometimes it has a way of working in your favor. You know, you want 4 or 5 guys who feel good about themselves. They've got double-digit points, and that's when they can have that sort of no-fear mentality in the fourth quarter and make, you know, remarkable shots. So I think I get your logic and I get your theory, and yes, physiologically, that's the way you would see this game playing out. But Leicester Riders do have some gamers on their team, and any one of those guys that feels good about themselves can do remarkable things.
Sheffield going with a little full court press here, a little zone press. I think this is more about wearing the point guard down than anything else. Hunter crosses midcourt. Johnson, room for the 3. Back iron, and Dooku going after it, but Glasgow gets his hands on it.
Yeah, Leicester Riders gone a little cold, haven't they? Try and figure out a way now to get some consistent offense.
3 for Rodney. Glasgow ties the scores at 30.
And that's the thing that can kill you. You know you're going to get points from Ricky McGill's and Prentice Nixon's and Groves and Clay, but Rodney Glasgow Jr. coming up hitting 3s.
9 in a row for the Sheffield Sharks, looking to add to it here and to take the lead. Glasgow goes again, heat check. Leicester desperate for a basket, get off 30. He's stuck here for a few minutes now. It's out to Hunter. And Groves can't move his feet quick enough to stay in front of Hunter. And Hunter's just thrown the ball off the basket and got a technical, I think.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not quite sure. What happens is at the end of the drive, he picked the ball up, having got the foul called, and he threw the ball off the basket, and the referee, my thing on that is it visual dissent if you've got the call? You're not dissenting to anything.
No, he's obviously frustrated himself, so he's thrown the ball off the backboard, but I don't know, can you do that? It's a reaction, isn't it? It's an emotional response. You see him there. It's disappointed.
It's just slightly after. Well, you've seen players bounce the ball in frustration. It's always that weird thing of for some reason, if you catch it, it isn't, and if you don't catch it, it becomes the thing. There was in the playoff game last year, Teddy Allen threw the ball off the wall, got a technical, and I think it was his second. He was ejected from the game. And again, I think that one was frustration at himself rather than the call, but he was a bit fiery anyway, so he was always close to a technical.
He was a bit fiery. That's as intelligent as you are with basketball analysis now. That's probably spot on. It's a very good assessment there from you. No stats needed.
Here's Groves. Gets it down to Ocharobia, who lays it in for 2, and Sheffield are up 3.
Well, they are cruising while Riders are still stuck on 30. And that's a smart play from Groves there. And Mike Ocharobia says, thank you very much. Ooh, almost turnover here at half court.
And 12 in a row for Sheffield. Leicester desperate to find a way to end this run. Jackson is the man, and of course he's the man.
Unbelievable. High degree of difficulty shot there, but he's knocked it down, and maybe that's the spark now, and he needs some of his teammates here now to contribute offensively.
Groves on the turnaround off the mark. Hunter lobbing it up high, and Ocharobia in the way, I think is fair to say, bumping Thompson, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, that was a pass of faith, wasn't it? He threw the ball pretty high there. Look at this. Jalen Hunter dancing and then throws it pretty high there. Charles Thompson there impeded.
Timeout called by Atiba Lions and the Sheffield Sharks. 1:27 to go. They spent a lot of this first half behind, but they are ahead for now, at least, although Thompson will go to the free throw line to try and change that right out of this timeout. But we were talking earlier when Leicester were at 27, right early in this quarter, how Sheffield had done a good job at keeping Leicester to a lower number than they normally get this season. They've reeled it back in this second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester Riders converted on 22 points in that first quarter, and they're really, really struggling to score the goal in their second quarter. Just 10 points for them, and as you say, Dan, the intensity on the defensive end for Sheffield seems to have increased, and it was a unit too that perhaps isn't your most offensively gifted or offensively charged five, but I think Riders found it very difficult to score against you. Routino came on, and you've got now a bigger staple inside. Mike Hotcherobia, Reese as well. He's a player that likes to play defense. You can see him getting into the opposition. And sometimes finding the correct five isn't always just about scoring the ball. Sometimes it's creating that gridlock on the defensive end, causing problems for the opposition.
Thompson isn't the best free throw shooter on Leicester's team. He's shooting just under 60, just over 60% free throws. He actually shoots field goals better than he does free throws, only just. I mean, his field goal shooting is amazing, by the way, up in the 60s. But
that was me in college.
Was it?
Field goal was higher than my free throw, yeah.
Field goal shooting percentage in the 40s as well, was it? Here's Routino open for three. Got it. Another one for Jordan Routino, his second of the game.
Well, and that's the thing. He's missed a couple of those ones. He's not going to miss too many. Jordan Routino has been one of the more consistent shooters from beyond the perimeter in the last 4 years.
Mid-range for Jackson off the mark. Reese doing a good job to win that rebound battle. Double team here from Reese, and Jackson just overreaching there. Call for the foul.
That was close. I had a pretty good look at that one myself. Just Jackson just trying to make something happen there, but Reese was in a bit of a problem here. Picked up the ball. You can see a lot of the ball there. Whoa, tough one.
Reese had to get that up high over Thompson for two.
He did. You saw Thompson's big outstretched hand come across there, but Reese was so focused on the rim, it didn't matter.
Sheffield's biggest lead of the half, just before half-time. Abercrombie fires up the three. Oh my goodness, what a shot that is. They needed it too.
It really was.
Last couple of seconds. McGill, it's an offensive foul. Hotcherobia with the screen at half court. And 0.6, it doesn't give you much of an option given you're going to be inbounding the ball out the half court. But I guess Rob Paternoster's going to call a timeout. I guess you throw it towards the rim and maybe somebody can tip it in. Maybe you get a foul or you get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you want to create some action, so a lot of movement, a lot of screen, and just to finish what you were saying, then you throw it up near the rim and hope for the best. You kind of want to cause diversion just so that the defense is having to think, and maybe the diversions cause enough for someone to get open and have a tip at the rim.
I did wonder. I thought Sheffield took didn't have enough urgency there. Leicester scored with 7 or 8 seconds to go. They didn't seem to right. I mean, if referee Gavin Williams hadn't have reached over and got the ball and thrown it back, I'm not sure they'd have even got it in time. And even with the foul there, McGill was still a long way from the basket to get a shot away. There's only 0.6 left, so I don't know that he would have even got a shot away. It seemed to lack a little urgency there. Well, Sheffield can't commit a foul here. That's the thing. What you don't want to do is bail Leicester out by sending them to the free throw line.
Well, they're 5 for 11 for the free throw line, Dan.
Well, there is that. It's lobbed towards Thompson, and well, Clay gave him a little nudge in the back there. You've got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
The referee's happy enough it wasn't a foul, but you run the risk when you put your forearm in the back of somebody trying to catch the ball and he's back to basket. He's not going to get the shot away. And that'll do it for the first half. Leicester led by as many as 9, but Sheffield won that second quarter and have the lead going into the locker rooms. At the half here at the Mattioli, it's Leicester 36, Sheffield 38. Rob Paternoster still asking the question about whether that was a nudge in the back or not. And not is, I think, still the prevailing answer from the referees, but it was a bit risky. Let's have a look at the numbers. Leicester shooting numbers, unsurprisingly, dipping from that first half, and if I took the score away now, you'd get a pretty good guess of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, complete contrast to the first quarter, isn't it? And even Sharks, they're not blistering from the three-point line. They've got a lot of volume shots from the perimeter, 5 for 18. So a lot of shots. And ordinarily, you don't see that. When you're playing against a team with a short rotation, you want to attack. You want to try and get the opposition in foul trouble. But Sharks have been pretty comfortable with putting the ball up from the three-point line. But very good performance there. Rebounding still in the favour of Leicester Riders, but I felt like Sharks competed better in that second quarter.
Well, Sheffield only averaged 23.5 three-point attempts per game. They've got 18 attempts in the first half, so slightly out of the norm from them, but they've made enough to keep the scoreboard ticking. But at 36-34, it's one of those games where ordinarily you would say that both teams probably want to push it up a little bit more. Sheffield have probably had a few more games down in the 60s than Leicester have this season, but they're both capable of winning from this sort of scenario.
Well, they are, yeah. They both held the honour as well of having the best defensive points allowed per game in the league this year. Sheffield Sharks currently have that 76 points allowed per game, but Leicester Riders aren't far behind in third place in 77.6% points per game. So you're right, both teams are comfortable playing these low-scoring games. Both teams have been successful at doing that, but you can't help but Sheffield Sharks probably that tad bit more comfortable in this environment.
And obviously Leicester did a good job actually after Johnson got his second foul early on to get through that half with nobody else joining him. There's no foul trouble at all in the game either way, but it matters a little bit more for Leicester given the minutes they've got. Jackson played the whole half, Hunter and Abercrombie got a couple of minutes off, and that was basically it. And you do wonder whether the superior depth of Sheffield will eventually take its toll. They have the lead right now. It's 36-38 here at halftime at the Mattioli Arena. Well, we can have plays of the weeks in just a few moments time, but we've also got some interviews with Connor Washington and Prentice Nixon for you now.
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
The dream to want to take basketball as far as I could started when I was 10 years old. I went through a tragic experience when I was younger, and I just think my focus shifted tremendously. I feel like I had to grow up really, really quickly, and basketball was just something that I thought, this is what I'm going to go for. You know, I want to make something of my life. Leicester to me is my second home. You know, I've been here this is my 12th season here, but I feel like I've been in and out of the city for most of my life. I have a great sense of pride in being a team loyalist, and I've kind of built a life here. So being able to play in your home, you know, for most of your career I think is a privilege. I think I've always had that sense of carrying myself with dignity and having a sense of professionalism, even before I was a professional athlete. I play like there's, you know, everything to play for and nothing to leave out there. So I'm always going to be playing 100%, and I feel like that's what, you can feel the energy when you watch me. We used to have a saying called HBT, which stands for Heart Beats Talent. After I finished playing professional basketball, I'm not going to step away from the game completely. You know, it's just a part of my blood. I don't think I can ever leave it behind. But no, I didn't think it was going to last this long. And I mean, I feel like I still got so many years left. My body feels great. You know, my mental is getting better every day. I just feel like now my game style is a lot different from how it used to be. Like when I was 19, I couldn't even touch the rim from the three-point line. You know, now that's probably my best shot that I've got. So the only thing I haven't achieved in Super League basketball is winning 4 trophies in the season. I've always won 3, sometimes 3 back-to-back, sometimes 3 years in a row, 3 trophies, but never 4. I would love to win 4 before I retire. And who knows when that's going to be, but you know, every time a team comes in, I'm always thinking, can this team win 4 trophies? Another achievement I feel like I've lost out on it twice is a Finals MVP. I've been close twice, in 2015 and 2022. The balls went to the guys who were the best players at the time, so I don't have any qualms with that, but still, I know in my heart of hearts, we won those games because of me, so I'm happy with that, but just, yeah, 4 trophies in the season and a Finals MVP ball.
Sheffield means a lot, man. They picked me up at a time when I didn't have a job. I was at home kind of just working a job in the grocery store late nights, just trying to keep my dream alive, you know, playing professional basketball. And Coach Atiba called me and Sheffield came through, and I mean, they mean the world to me. I hope, you know, they feel that love every time I step on the court for them, and the passion I feel for this city and these fans and this organization. Without them, I don't know where my career would be at right now, so I owe them everything at this moment in time.
Nixon for 3, splashes it.
I think as time went on, as I got better, I kind of realized like I could take this a long way. And when offers start rolling in, then you kind of put in perspective, like if you work hard enough, you could really be a pro at this. You could really do this for a long time. And that's what keeps me motivated now. Just that kid that had a dream, and just, you know, playing basketball at the highest of highs. And I mean, I don't know, it's taking me this far, so who knows how far it can take me in the future. When I transferred to Iowa State, I ended up playing with a guy named Tyrese Halliburton. He's a starting point guard for the Pacers, one of my, you know, close friends. I played with a guy named Mario Shayak that plays in the EuroLeague with Tel Aviv. Nick Weiler-Babb plays in Bayern Munich right now. So I played with a slew of guys that just looked at some of the best in the world, and it kind of makes you step your game up, man. It was a learning process. Because, you know, coming from Colorado State, I was averaging maybe 17, 18 points a game, and transferring to a Big 12 school with guys like that, it doesn't put you at the bottom of the totem pole, but it just puts in perspective like how much work you got to do to continue to get better at your craft and continue to like elevate and develop. I think by the way I play, I think the passion I play with makes me feel bigger than what I am on the court. You know, being 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", however you want to call it, people look at you a certain way. I mean, all my life it's been like that. For the longest, I wasn't a point guard. I was too small to play the 2. So I've heard a lot of things. You know, I'm not athletic enough. I don't shoot the ball well enough. I heard it all. But at the end of the day, I'm a basketball player, and I can play with the best of them, man. I can go out there, you roll the balls out. By the time the game's over, it don't matter if he's 6'2" or he's 6'5". Like, my impact on the game, I think, goes a long way. I want to win as much as we can. I feel like Sheffield deserves that. This organization deserves that. To be looked at as one of the premier teams in this league, you gotta have some hardware. So I think we got all the tools in the making for it. But we gotta take it one day at a time. And remember, like, You know, it's going to be a target on our back because we got a lot of talent. But at the end of the day, dogs got to hunt. So that's what we're going to go do.
Lewis to Robinson under the basket, and Robinson rocking the rim.
Sandy in the lane. Shot doesn't go. Begovic saves it. Holloway got it. And there's another time he's done that at the shot clock. Holloway drives to the hoop, rejected by Thompson. Just get it out of here.
Wow, great help defense there from the big man.
Round the screen for Mitchell, lobs it up, and Del Pesh at the rim. Marcus Del Pesh getting the crowd on their feet.
And it's blocked again by Dame Medelican for his 4th of the night.
Well, Dame Medelican's just waiting for those guys down there. You know, if you're going to keep trying to bully yourself down there, he's just going to wait to throw it away.
Charles Thompson to the basket, dunks it home off the assist from Zach Jackson. What a finish.
And what a pass there by Zach Jackson. Just seeing the opening. Thompson all the way to the basket for the easy slam.
Raiders lead by 6. Fine to Barnes, what a dish from Fagbenley.
And that's more like it. The Gladiators' last 2 possessions, just moving the ball a little bit better.
And there's a great pass, and no mistake this time for Dame Medelican as he rocks the rim. Shot clock running down. These two saying inside to Shelton with the throwdown. Felt like a broken play, but there was Duke Shelton.
Wow, Duke Shelton slams it home.
Wise again, a chance to go into this. Louis hands it off. Oh, and Lewis, the one-handed slam.
Statue of Liberty dunk from Lewis right there.
We're at the half here at the Mattioli Arena. It's 36-38. 2 other games going on. Newcastle Eagles trailing to Manchester Basketball 34-50. That feels like an almost guaranteed chance of a loss there for Newcastle, given their heroics of the midweek, getting all the way to the European North Basketball League final, just getting their hearts broken in the 4th quarter there and finishing as runners-up. They've got to come back to a doubleheader this weekend. It's tough for them. And Bristol up against Caledonia 38-32 in the half for that. 2 more games for you on DAZN tomorrow. Surrey against London and Cheshire against the Leicester Riders, and then 3 more on Sunday. Bristol and Surrey and Manchester, Cheshire, and then finally Sheffield against Newcastle. Reminder of where it stands going into tonight's action. So London watching on and enjoying the fact that one of these 2 teams are going to lose. And the interesting stat I had of in the last 28 days, the top 3 have lost 10 of their 22 games in the last 28 days. If you stretch it to 31, by the end of tonight, it will be 11, almost half of the defeats that the top 3 have come in the last calendar month. Incredible, really, but it shows you how difficult it is to win at this time of the season when everybody else needs the win as well.
Well, both coaches commented that pre-game when you were questioning. They said about the strength in the league, and the not-so-strong teams are looking strong now.
And a mention for Newcastle, an incredible achievement to get to the ENBL final, and they were right there, weren't they, at half-time? Just couldn't quite keep it going and lost to the Romanian champions, Voluntari, who were runners-up in that competition last year.
Yeah, and it was difficult too because obviously they've had their injuries this year. They're only playing with one natural big man in Defoe, so they were doing it on a limited rotation.
But, well, I know it never feels like a congratulations when you've lost in the final, but it is a heck of an achievement. First British team on the men's side to reach a European final of any stripe. And they did get a big old trophy for runners-up as well. I was quite impressed by the size of the trophies that second and third got in that competition, but there you go.
That's the relentless of the sport, isn't it? They come back to the UK and now they're down at half-time.
Yeah. Well, second and third going at it here in Super League basketball right now, and it is the team in second leading the team in third by 2, and Sheffield will also get the opening possession of this third quarter. Ricky McGill. It looks like some confusion going on. Eventually the ball moves, and it's down to Clay. He gets an offensive rebound. Well, that play was nothing like what was drawn up, judging by the reaction from the players out on the court. But you get 3 points at the end of it.
Yeah, second attempt there, and it looks so much more controlled there. Again, Clay Thompson really good in that space there.
Clay Thompson.
Sorry, Donovan Clay, excuse me.
Merged Clay and Thompson together. Jackson for 3.
Good shot there from Zach Jackson. It didn't sound like that. I just couldn't figure out why it didn't sound right.
I'm just looking for Steph Curry now, that's all. Where is he? McGill, nice pass to Clay. Oh, he blows the layup, though. Abercrombie's picked it up in a slightly awkward spot. He's able to get it away to Johnson. Thompson, double team comes, cross court to Johnson. It's got to go up here. Jackson needs to shoot. Did he get it away in time? No, he didn't. Shot clock violation.
The problem came from the pass from the post there was off the mark, which meant Spencer Johnson had to rearrange there, couldn't catch and shoot. And Zach Jackson was then given the grenade with 2 seconds left.
It's an illegal screen on Clay. He can't believe it. He's just turned around to see what the whistle is. It's his second personal foul.
It's an opportunity here for Leicester Riders. Both teams trying to find their feet here, but Leicester Riders are the team from behind, and you want to see if they can capitalise that and put some pressure here on the Sharks.
Abercrombie to the fall away. Nice shot. Wow, that's difficult.
And Abercrombie's in that sort of space looking like that. You feel, how can you ever stop a guy like that? He's very similar to Jacob Groves in that regard. Just a very skillful 6'9" basketball player. Very long.
McGill for 3, rattles one in, hit one early in the first half, and has done the same here in the second.
Well, that was the first shot of the game for him, wasn't it, where he's hitting contested threes, and he's already hit one this half.
And then he committed a foul at the other end, if I
did.
remember rightly, which he's just done again.
Exactly the same.
Leicester running off a lot of screens, but in the end, he has to go to Thompson, who was a bit casual with that pass.
Yeah.
Nixon, room for 3.
Oh, just like that. Ricky McGill's activity there on the defensive end. Leads to Prentice Nixon stepping into that wide open transition 3.
Well, he's falling over. Hunter, he ends up turning it over. Sheffield on the charge. Up 6. McGill looking for another 3. Hand in his face is just enough to put him off. Jackson. Hunter for three. Got it.
Big shot there off the curl. Catch and go, Jalen Hunter.
I think Thompson's shoes just come off. He's just still playing with his laces undone. Clay doesn't shoot too many threes, but off the mark with that attempt. Abercrombie underneath is good.
Good finish there, and Riley Abercrombie getting more and more comfortable in this game as it goes on.
Well, they still haven't made him tie his shoe. Usually they stop the game if the player's shoelaces are undone. At a convenient point. Here's Anderson in the corner for three. Rims out. Hunter with the rebound.
When's a convenient point, Dan? I feel like in the first half the game didn't stop very much.
Well, that's true. Hunter step back three. Off the mark. Rebound McGill. Clay running. Clay is fouled and will go to the line for two.
The ability of him to do that, it's very, very unique. You can throw the ball mid-court to your starting five-man, and he's able to create something in the transition. You can see him attack there and look. Jacob Groves, who's also on the break, so you've got your 4 and 5 man, both very capable players. And it's Donovan Clay on the free throw line here.
There aren't too many centers I can think of that can square up an attack from the perimeter or in the open court quite like Donovan Clay. I think back over the years of watching British basketball, I don't remember Roger Huggins in the early days of the Sheffield Sharks in the open court quite like that. Martino into the game. Here's Hunter. Abercrombie got a long way into that shot plate, put it on the floor. Charging foul is the call, is it? Referees are looking at each other. Yes, they are going to agree. It is a foul on Abercrombie.
Good stand there, I think, from Prentice Nixon. He was there for a while. He had good position, and you see the pump fake there. Keeps his foot down. But Prentice Nixon was there. Good stand from him.
Knicks around the screen. Circles back out as many a guard does when they see 32 in the paint. Well, Clay loses the bounce off his foot. Johnson for three. He strings it and the score's a level of 49.
Wow, good looking shot there. And that's the ones that they want, the ones that you're catching and stepping into.
Well, McGill drives in off the glass. I was about to say Mark Stukel the other week had a stat in a pre-game interview that Leicester were the best team in the league off the catch and shoot threes, off an assist.
Good stat, yeah.
It was a really good stat.
And I can believe it too. The creativity of Jalen Hunter.
Pass. Oh my goodness, it doesn't go there. What a pass that was from Hunter, and Thompson really should be going to the line for one rather than two here.
When Jalen Hunter should be getting assist number 7.
Yeah.
He's got 6 already.
Well, he might get an assist number 7 if Thompson can make one of these two free throws now. Modern game.
Yeah.
Make the second, and he will sit down, and so too will Hunter as Wright checks back in, and Jerome Brooks comes into the game. See, Jerome Brooks was embracing the local culture. He came into the game today wearing a retro Leicester City shirt, something from the mid-90s by the looks of it. I think it was last time they scored a home league goal.
Proper culture now, is
yeah,
he?
Proper cultured, yeah. He's wearing a Muzzy Is It shirt, he is. Here's Rotino driving through. It's stolen away by Leicester. Abercrombie putting it on the floor, leaving Groves on the floor. Leicester keep the ball circling. Still they move it around, and Wright will go to the line. It was almost like nobody wanted to shoot it there. They just all wanted the assist.
They had to work so hard to get a shot up, but boy did it look pretty. Good movement of the basketball as well. But good defense as well for Sharks. You know, the Sharks did a good job of rotating there, help the helper. The resistance was very good on the first line of defense there. It took Riders a number of different passes and cuts to get anything.
Well, Wright will tie it up at 51 and a chance to regain the lead. It's a good recovery. You think it was 47 to 41, and Leicester looked like they were struggling, and Sheffield had hit a couple of threes and it got back in front now. Glasgow. Reese coming off the screens. Gets it out to Rotino. Inside to Ocherobia. Ocherobia hooks it in. Foul is called on Brooks. And that is where they miss Shelton. He's not a natural centre, Brooks. He's plenty of size, but he's not used to going up against somebody like Ocherobia.
No, and when Ocherobia gets the ball down low as well, he's very good. He's a veteran. He's played top-flight British basketball for a number of years, and again, he's the type of the guy, he's the kind of player too who gets lost in the rotation sometimes just because of the depth of this team. But Mike Ocherobia will be a very nice asset to have for many clubs in the SLB.
It's hard to sit Clay down for long though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, agreed. Agreed. Let's not have the same problem with Duke Shelton to a degree. You know, when Charles Thompson's playing the way he's playing, it's hard to take him out. Not like back in my day, Dan, when you'd have two bigs on the floor at the same time, clogging up the middle.
Famously, you and the former Sheffield Shark, Paul Williams, of course.
Yes.
In your Plymouth days.
Good old days, Dan. High-low.
You stand at the elbow and he draws all the defense down low, wasn't it? Oh, Groves driving in.
He's looked really good today, Jacob Groves. Been really impressed with his intent today. He's looked aggressive and he's looked to create for himself as well.
Well, creating for himself here is Ethan Wright laying it in off the glass.
Wow, 11 points personal now for Ethan Wright. He'll go in double digits. Game's picked up pace a little bit here now. Both teams trading punches, blow for blow.
Glasgow looking to get in. He lobs it up and in. They're trading scores as well as punches.
Oh, he's had a good game. Glasgow Jr. coming off and looking for his shot also.
Jackson pulling his way to the rim, but a little off the mark. Reese out in front. Groves wants it on the low block. Jackson knocks it loose, but Groves spins to the rim. Will that count? Yes, it will. Basket is good for Jacob Groves, and he will go to the line for a bonus.
That's an excellent finish there from Jacob Groves. 12 points personal now for him, and pass was there. Jackson almost got it, and then you see him literally juggling the ball as he's attacking the rim. Unbelievable skill here for your 6'9" forward, and then the ability to finish. Outstretched three arms. Wow.
Well, once you pick the ball up, you're in your motion to shoot. So it doesn't matter whether the foul comes at the beginning of the steps or the end of it. It's still going to count for two, and he converts the three-point play to push it out to 5. First time in a few minutes that we've had back-to-back scores for one of the teams. Johnson. He's absolutely landed on by Reese.
Reese didn't need to foul there either. They had a really good trap there, a short corner. Good help defense from Mike Ocherobi, who came over and closed the door there for the attacking Johnson.
Yeah, as you say, just stay on your feet. And instead, it's Johnson at the line for 2 free throws because they were over the limit. The referee did say it was on the pass, but it was the team's 5th foul, so it's shots by virtue of that. Leicester missed 7 free throws already tonight. Go 2 for 2 this time down. Glasgow working the high screen. Getting into the key. Just having enough to get that to roll in.
Excellent contribution from Rodney Glasgow Jr. 7 points personal, but he's very effective in the manner in which he's played offense.
Brooks out to Johnson. Over to Abercrombie for 3. Back iron.
Good defense from Reese there.
Glasgow lobbing it up to Groves, who has the size over right. And they pulled out to a 7-point lead here, Sheffield.
Excellent play there, just to identify the mismatch down low. And Jacob Groves does all what good big men should, and that's keep the ball high. Nice finish.
Brooks for 3. That one is short, and suddenly the points have dried up here for Leicester.
Yeah, they're in a bit of bother here. Just as they were in the second quarter, they struggled to score the ball. This has been more of a productive quarter, though. 22 points for Riders this quarter.
Problem is they've given up. Oh, it's a travel by Latino, and that's another quarter where they've potentially had the last shot, giving it away. 3.7 left here. Wright gets the 3 away, doesn't go, and Johnson is too late on the putback. That will do it for the third quarter. Well, for much of that, they were tied and trading scores, but Sheffield had the run to end the third quarter, and they will go into the fourth with a 7-point advantage. It's 58-65 here in Leicester. Let's have a look at the numbers here, and still pretty good field goal shooting for both teams. The difference is that Sheffield have had a little bit more volume of threes, and Leicester, more volume of field goals, and Leicester, even though they got to the free throw line, have missed too many to sort of even that all up.
Yeah, free throw percentage shooting, not good reading for the Leicester Riders. Complete contrast to Sheffield Chucks. But Sheffield Chucks, again, they've been able to find good quality shots. They did a good job of moving that extra pass just on this play here. Good looking 3-point shot here from Prentice Nixon. And Zach Jackson continues to score the ball. 13 points personal for him. But you can't help but feel the shots were of higher quality for the Sheffield Chucks. 27 points in that quarter for them, Dan. Wow.
It's a very good third quarter for Sheffield in that regard. And can they pull away as a result of it? It's actually the third most points Leicester have given up in a third quarter this season. Sheffield had 26 in November, but Newcastle twice had 30 plus. Well, what is Leicester's response here? 10 minutes to go. They trail by 7. They're short-handed. And have they got enough left in the tank for a charge? Jackson gets his man in the air, and Martino realized the error of his ways, but Jackson just comes up a little slow. He seems to be okay now.
Well, it's really important for Leicester Riders to throw the first punch here, as you say. Last sort of attempt here now to just make things difficult for Sheffield Sharks. This is where you would favour the deeper team in the fourth quarter. However, we've seen that script be turned on its head. It's the question now is, can the Leicester Riders find firepower?
Well, there can't be too many times in his Leicester Riders career that Victor Nduku has been on the court at the start of the fourth quarter.
No.
If any. He's probably...
A 22-year-old from Wigan is going to get an opportunity here to do just that.
McGill around the double screen. Gets it back from Groves. 5 on the shot clock. McGill has Nduku in front of him, trying to create for the shot. Nduku did a decent job there.
Really good job. We kept Ricky McGill in front of him. Just easier said than done.
Pass doesn't quite reach Nduku, but diving on the floor, he and Nixon able to come up with it. It's going to be a hell ball. And possession arrow goes back to Sheffield.
You see him just trying to pass the ball across there, but deflection. Ricky McGill, good active hands again to cause that deflection.
Well, the EuroLeague game last night, we had 2 jump balls. It was great to see. None of this possession arrow malarkey. Well, Duke Shelton watching on, suspended today on disciplinary points. And he's a big miss for them, no doubt about it.
It's crazy when you see someone out of the context of basketball. He seems so mellow and placid. And obviously on the court he's very animated.
He's all energy.
High energy, yeah.
If you want to see some of that high energy, join us tomorrow. He's back on court as Leicester go to Cheshire here on DAZN. 6 p.m. tip-off for that.
You back in business, Dan?
I'm back,
good.
Doing that game.
These back-to-back fatigues, no, they don't phase you, do they?
3 in a row, mate. I'm doing Manchester on Sunday as well. Is Jackson getting a friendly roll?
Good finish there from Zach Jackson. And how many times have we seen him get into those danger areas with the softest of touches? 17 points personal now for him.
McGill. Round to Anderson for 3. That's off the mark. Right. Trying to drive to McGill. I was about to say I thought McGill did a good job there, jumping the right way, but got called for a foul.
Yeah, you can see Ricky McGill's locked in defensively. He's kind of got that presence about him today on the end of the floor.
Well, it's his 3rd foul, so Tiva Lyons is just going to protect him here. I think he's a touch unlucky, if I'm honest with you. Hunter floats one up and in. Well, they've got it back to 3 here, Leicester. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just like that. I mean, Riders have done a good job of competing as well. It's never got out of hand. I think 8 was his biggest lead.
7 was Sheffield's biggest lead. Leicester led by 9, but Hunter with the steal. Hunter will lay it in, and Hunter will make it a 1-point game. And Tiva Lyons wants to talk things over.
Wow, this place is fired up, and so is Coach Paternostro. There's been hope now injected into this building as Jalen Hunter, following the steal, skips to the basket. We got ourselves a ball game.
Oh, I certainly do. I was worrying for them as Sheffield pulled away at the end of the 3rd quarter, and you think, here we go, this is where the fatigue kicks in. But Leicester have scored 8 of the first 10 points here in this 4th quarter to cut it back down to 1. Well, busy night in British basketball. Bristol are up 10 with a quarter to go against Caledonia. Looks like the win streak might come to an end for Johnny Bunyan and his team. That would be a huge win for Bristol, given where they are in the standings. And Manchester up big, unsurprisingly, against Newcastle, who are obviously on their third game of the week, and all the emotion and the flying from Bratislava, and they're without Mike Okoro in that game as well. Will Neighbour was starting.
Seneca Knight is the missing for.
No, Knight is missing as
Newcastle
well.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so they're on a.
As I say, that looked like a schedule loss to me before I saw the lineup. Defense to cry from the home fans. Clay has the ball, gets it to Anderson. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Clay. Got to go quick. Creates room for the shot. Misses it. Right with the rebound.
Well, Riders get their stop. And this could be big period of the game for them here.
Right to the spin. Got bumped and somehow finished it. What a play from Ethan Wright.
Unbelievable. He's done so well not to fall to the ground, let alone finish the play and make the shot. Goodness me. Wow, when you say circus shot, that's a definition of a circus shot. Excellent ability there from Ethan Wright to finish.
Well, Leicester back on top. Just enough to get the free throw to roll. 11-2 start to the fourth quarter by the home team.
Oh, just like that, you feel the Sheffield Sharks now under pressure.
And where do they go when they're under pressure? They go to number 2, and he delivers.
Unbelievable. He does that, doesn't he? Just puts his team on his back. He gets into another level of focus. Both ends of the floor, Prentice Nixon as well.
Jackson, step away for 3, off the mark, rebound Nixon.
That's good defense there from Donovan Clay. Highly contested shot.
Nixon driving in, looking for the pass, gets it to Groves. Unsportsmanlike foul is the call, and that's his game done because he's got a technical. Hunter's out of the game. Hunter is out of the game unless the referees decide this isn't an unsportsmanlike. The original decision was yes. They're going to have a conversation about it. Basket is good, foul is unsportsmanlike. Hunter's game is over.
Well, let me see this great pass down low for Prentice Nixon, and oh, you see he's got arms wrapped around him, and you can't do that in modern day basketball.
Well, he's gone. He's off. Hunter is gone, and surely with him go Leicester's chances. They don't have a backup point guard, and they don't have a starting point guard now either. And that's where you go back to the technical for throwing the ball off the side of the basket when he got the foul in his favor. Still not 100% sure about that. I don't know what the difference is between that and bouncing it hard on the floor in frustration and catching it. It's the same motion, but I'm not a referee. Here's, oh, what a rebound that is from Johnson as Nixon comes off the back. Jackson through the contact. Circus shot as well from Zach Jackson.
Unbelievable! You see him attack with such aggression, but then he's got to finesse to maneuver in between those two defenders. Look at this. Nice in and out dribble. Left hand finish for Zach Jackson.
Well, McGill picks up his 4th foul as well, so he sits down. Jackson ties the game at 72.
The drama, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's phenomenal. Both teams, though, back and forth.
Nixon to Groves. Got it up quick and got it up high.
So sensible, Groves, as well. Intelligent decision not to try and body and go pound to pound with Charles Thompson. He's used his skill there to shoot it high off the glass. Nice finish.
Jackson to Thompson. Over to Abercrombie. Abercrombie driving, spinning, fading away, in and out. Comes down, all right, just lost it. He almost had it, and it slipped away from his grasp. Groves into Anderson, and Anderson will lay it for two. Paternostro will call for time. His team trailing by 4 with 5:20 to go, but more importantly, without their star point guard, who has been disqualified from the game for a technical and unsportsmanlike. And it is the Sharks fans who are on their feet now.
Yeah, they've travelled well today, haven't they, the Sharks fans? You could hear them, especially in the second quarter when the Sharks seem to have turned the tide on the game. You can hear the voices bellowing across the Mattioli Arena. But they'll be the more pleased of the two fans here so far here tonight. As you say, Dan, looks like the back's against the walls now for the Leicester Riders. They already had a shortened rotation. Now you take away the point guard. Very difficult circumstances here now for the Riders.
Because there's almost no minutes for anybody at point guard this season that haven't been Hunter or Washington. I mean, occasionally you might get Jackson bring the ball up, but really all of their point guard minutes have been Hunter and Washington. You see Connor Washington in the middle of your screen there, unavailable. He's dressed, but he's unavailable through injury tonight. And boy, they could do with him right now. His veteran experience in this situation.
And unfortunately, we don't have enough of them in the game, but this is where you'd want a young British point guard, just a third-string point guard. I mean, these are the opportunities we see for players to be able to showcase what they can do, but unfortunately Leicester Riders don't have that.
Well, I think it's been the hardest position is Abercrombie knocks down the three to make it a one-point game.
Goodness me, never say die attitude. They're not going to Abercrombie. 15 points for him.
Groves drives, hits the deck. Foul is called on the floor as he passed it off, and that will be a sideline ball to Sheffield, and it will be a foul, number 3 on Abercrombie.
He's done such a good job at that all game today, Jacob Groves, just attacking.
Glasgow into Groves. Nixon coming off the screen. Back to Groves. Down to, oh, it's not a very good pass right at the ankles of Anderson. And Leicester get the ball back. And with 4:38 to go, they can still move in front here. Right, foul called off the ball. Jamel Anderson called for the block, and a big roar from the fans as if to say, well, that's the first one we've got, and yeah, it's the 5th one of the quarter, so it's going to be 2 free throws. Thompson, 2 of 4 before that one. Trying to get back to 50% here. Trying to tie the scores at 76. does make the second. Reese and Rotino will come in for Groves and for Nixon. Feels like defense for offense there.
Yeah. Well, Coach Atiba Lyons knows.
This is probably his most defensive lineup, is it? What do you think? You've got Anderson, Rotino, and Reese, all great defensive players. Clay, what he brings. And Rotino, Glasgow, Clay. Over to Reese. Shot clock getting low. Out to Glasgow for three. What a shot from Rodney Glasgow.
It's massive, Dan, and he's had such a good game. Rodney Glasgow Jr. with a big one. 10 points personal now for him.
Abercrombie spinning baseline, getting underneath and forcing it home.
Tough. Rodney Abercrombie, quite the performance from him in this fourth quarter as well. He's responded with a few buckets now.
Clay. Hands off to Rotino. Here's Glasgow again. Travelling violation is the call on Rodney Glasgow. Didn't quite get it down in time. And Leicester will get it back.
Yeah, he was in two minds, wasn't he? He was looking to square up and shoot the basketball. And then it was good close out from Ethan Wright, which forces Glasgow to put it on the floor, but he just didn't quite get it down quick enough.
Groves wasn't on the bench for long. He's back out there with Anderson sitting down. Jackson to Thompson. Along the baseline goes Ethan Wright, but it just bobbles out somehow. Somehow it didn't go in for him.
Well, that was the one baseline drive there. We saw him make that exact same shot in the first half.
Chino out to Glasgow again, their late shot clock here. Groves has room for three, back iron, but Rotino with the rebound. Groves will try again, no. That one doesn't go either.
Wow, that's a 43% three-point shooter, missing two in a row there. He's missed very little else today.
Mismatch here. Abercrombie driving in, Abercrombie jams it in and Leicester are ahead.
Wow. What a play too. Perfectly timed cut there from Riley Abercrombie. Thunders down the middle. Great look from Charles Thompson. Excellent finish.
Defense echoing around the Mattioli again. Groves. Knocked loose. Oh, but it's a foul against Thompson.
Just a little bit too aggressive there, reaching in.
Here comes McGill. He's on 4 fouls, but now with 2:05 to go, he's going to come back into the game. And he gets the ball straight away. Over to Reese. Reese is going to fire up the three, and he's going to splash it.
Wow, what a big shot. Not one you would expect as well. He's usually your player that comes on and he likes to pull up jump shot, but he's a high-energy defensive specialist. But that was a big one.
Here's Jackson driving hard to the hole, gets his own rebound, does he? No, it goes out of bounds for a Sheffield ball.
Zach Jackson got in those positions that he gets in so many times. He just wasn't able to finish that with a left hand.
Big defensive possession for Leicester here. Trying to keep it to a one-shot game with 95 seconds to play. McGill over to Reese, puts it on the floor this time. Is he blocked? He is blocked by Wright. Leicester get the stop they needed.
Ethan Wright, it's not his first block today as well. He's been very active on that side of the floor.
Jackson trying to work the screen, gets it to Thompson. The pass was deflected. It's a Leicester ball.
Those are difficult to catch too. When you set the screen and you roll to the basket, it's kind of a football pass because it comes over your opposite shoulder.
American football.
American football, thank you, Dan. Thank you. I knew you knew what I meant. See, it's as soon as you roll to the basket, it can be quite awkward because you sort of turn and the ball's already over your head.
Jackson at the end of the shot clock. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Zach Jackson levels the scores with a minute to go.
I can, Dan, because he makes so many of those big shots. That's a difficult one as well. Defender was right underneath him.
McGill spinning into trouble, but getting a whistle to get him out of it, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
Oh, Danny was in trouble, you're right. He sort of picked up his dribble. He does so well to get into that position, does Ricky McGill, but he ran out of space. Crossover here. He attacks, gets it inside, and then he's looking for the foul, isn't he?
Well, he's only a 69% free throw shooter on the season, Ricky McGill. Anderson's going to come in for Groves. He needs 2 here, though. He's normally a better free throw shooter than that. He's been 77% through his career in British basketball. Fans doing their best to put him off. Doesn't faze him at all.
11 points this evening for Ricky McGill.
Oh, the second one just about wobbled in. So Leicester now need a score to level the game up here with 40 seconds to play. Here's Jackson. Anderson in front of him. Abercrombie. Out to Jackson. Jackson fires up a 3, wants a foul. Oh, it's running! How did that go in? How on earth did that go in?
Well, he shot it high, Dad, and he shot it soft. He got the favourable bounce there. Donovan Clay was right in his grill, and it's a high shot, and it's dropped. Wow.
Well, I thought at first he was trying to get a foul, and somehow it went in, and the referees have confirmed it is a 3. What an incredible shot from Jackson. Somehow that bobbled in.
Just like that, Dan. Sometimes you deserve a little bit of luck. Zach Jackson, so often this year, has put his team on his back. And look at that. Toe was right on the line, wasn't it? That was a close one.
It was close. Both referees signaled a 3 in real time. And it is a 3-point shot. So Atiba Lyons has 23.5. Presumably he doesn't advance the ball. He just runs the clock and tries to win it with the final shot.
It's a good question, Dan. Yes, I don't. I mean, look. I think you want to score. I mean, you want a quick score. I think you want a quick score. I would want a quick score. Just
but then
because
you give them the ball back.
I think Atiba trusts his defense. Okay. I do. I think that the gamble you run, if you wait for the clock to go down and you miss, it's over. You're down 1.
When you score, you win. Well, we'll see what they do. Did they run the clock down to the end? Ricky McGill has it. Sheffield need a score to win. What a ball game it's been, whichever way it goes. Here's McGill. Gets it back. Oh, Clay driving to the rim. He's missed it. No, Abercrombie with the rebound. And it's a foul. Leicester somehow going to stop when Sheffield looks certain to score.
Wow. Well, it was Clay, wasn't it? He got him right in that position, and he sort of seemed to jump away from the basket.
Well, Abercrombie now, he can't win the game, but he can push it back to 3 if he can make them both. And then Leicester obviously could go into foul mode. Two massive free throws for Abercrombie. He makes the first.
You've got to remember, Ronnie Abercrombie missed a vital free throw in a game that Leicester won has lost this year.
With half a second to force overtime. He makes no mistake this time. Atiba Lyons is going to call for time.
Well, and that's a complete turn of fortune. Ronnie Abercrombie, the one who missed a split a pair of free throws to lose up in Sheffield this time, now converts 2. This could be the thing that seals it, but it's only one shot away now.
Yeah, no, this time they will advance the ball, I can guarantee you that.
Yes, they will.
They need a 3, or is there time still for a quick 2 and a foul maybe, or do you need a 3? 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Of course, Leicester could foul them to send them to line, but you run the risk there of maybe they turn it into a 3-point shot. They might get an offensive rebound. There are risks either way on that play.
I think you trust your defense here.
Rob would normally trust his defense in this situation, having watched him over the 17 years or so that he's been the head coach of the Leicester Riders. Literally everybody's on their feet. It's bouncing here in the Mattioli Arena.
Sometimes, too, it can be a little bit easier playing defense like this because I would know that my priority is to run people off the line.
Yeah.
So you can actually leave the inside open. So it sounds bizarre, but it can actually be simpler to play defense like this because you're really focused on what you're trying to do. Do not foul and run the opposition off the 3-point line.
McGill to inbound. It's got to Groves. Oh, he thought he was going to shoot it. He didn't. McGill does shoot it. McGill. Oh, what a shot from Ricky McGill. This is an unbelievable game. Ricky McGill ties the scores at 87.
Sometimes you come across special players and they do special things. That is a prime example of a special player just rising to the call. His team down by 3. But he reaches a level of focus to tie this game up, but it's not over yet.
It's not over. There's still 5.1, and Leicester will have a chance to try and win it. Well, I thought Groves had a chance here on the catch, but he waited for McGill.
I don't think it was a shot there.
That's an incredible shot by McGill.
Unbelievable. I think Riders do a really good job of preventing that shot from Jacob Groves, but the thing that comes afterwards is the inbounder. Ricky McGill inbounded the ball and goes straight to the basketball and sort of was able to curl into that shot off the left shoulder. Unbelievable shot.
Well, 5.1 seconds to go. I did a game last night. I think the score was exactly the same as this, and the big man hooked in a winner on the buzzer. It was certainly very close to 87-87. That was a road win rather than a home win. Leicester with a chance. 5 seconds to go, so they've got time to work. Sheffield cannot foul. It will send them to the free throw line. Johnson to inbound. Abercrombie running. Jackson is the open man. Jackson looking to go to work. Gets his man up in the air, fires it up! No! The tip is too late, it can go in anyway, it's overtime. We are going to overtime. 5 minutes of free basketball, folks. Strap yourselves in.
Unbelievable. If it's anything like that fourth quarter, give me a couple overtimes, Dan. Unbelievable.
Well, you've not played 38 minutes like Zach Jackson out there, so it's a bit different. But you just wonder now, we've talked about it all the way through, as the extra depth of Sheffield, whether now in overtime it might kick in. But what drama here in Leicester. Sheffield and Leicester inseparable here. 87-87 at the end of regulation.
But it's 6.5 minutes. Was at the point of time when Jalen Hunter was fouled out of this, disqualified from this game?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. I mean, Riders shouldn't be in this position. They shouldn't be in this position, and yet they almost sealed the deal. But if it wasn't for Ricky McGill making that heroic three-point shot, Jacob Groves has been excellent here today. MVP candidate.
Well, I didn't even get to ask you about MVP, but we've got overtime to think it.
Give me another 5 minutes or so now.
Another 5 minutes. Wow, what an incredible basketball game. Whichever team ends up losing it won't deserve it, that's for sure.
Well, this is second versus third, and we often comment about parity in the league this year, and you can't separate these two teams. It's been unbelievably close here today, and we need overtime to define a winner here.
We need 5 minutes on the clock first. We've got 1 minute. Would we have 1 minute overtime? It'd be like a 2020 sort of version of overtime. You just get a little. They're struggling to get 5 minutes on the clock, it seems.
Is it hot in here, Dan? Is it hot in here?
It is hot in here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm getting all this basketball excitement. I feel like it's like 30 degrees in here.
Well, malfunction on the table. The clock doesn't seem to reset to 5, which is usually a system. Usually it's just a system thing. It automatically goes to 5 once you get to overtime. But for some reason, it's going to 1.
Clock's overheated, Dan.
Yeah, they're gonna do the old traditional turn it off and turn it back on again, I think. So they can get 5 minutes on the clock.
It works on my laptop.
Yeah. Well, should we use your laptop to count it down? It's very much the scoreboard, I think, rather than the table officials, because, as I say, the program is decided that once you get to the end of 4, if it's an extra period, it just automatically cycles to 5. But it gives the coaches a few extra moments to regain their breath. Maybe quickly run to the bar and get yourself some liquid refreshment before the 4th quarter. Not you, Ant. Stay here. Stay here.
You give me the pass here, Dan?
Yeah.
I would not want to go anywhere. I don't want to miss 1 second of this action.
Wow. Just building the tension here in Leicester on an already dramatic night. And they just can't get it to reset to 5. Well, it's 5. It says 5 now. Big cheer from the crowd, but they've got to put the score back on. Could have just gone 0-0. It would have been the same thing. Doesn't matter. Well, they've got the 87 on one side of the board. It's going up on the other as well. And here we go. We're ready. We're ready now. Into right. Leicester get the first possession of the 4th quarter. Jackson, space for 3 this time. He makes no mistake.
Big play there from Zach Jackson. That's good patience there from Leicester Riders, and they don't look out of sorts. Their point guards are non-existent, but the offense was controlled.
Oh, I was about to say, it must be a foul there. There's a late whistle, it's the right whistle. Spencer Johnson. The problem with resetting the scoreboard is all the fouls have reset as well. That's the 3rd on Johnson.
When you look at Ricky McGill's production here, just in the last couple minutes of the game, he was sent to the line, hit those 2 free throws, then he hit the big 3. He had just 10 points before those events. Now he's on 16.
Well, he was on the bench for a fair few minutes with his 4 fouls. He makes both of them.
He's been an excellent closer so far, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ethan Wright doing an excellent job of point guard duties there. He looks very comfortable.
Down to Abercrombie. The help from Clay just made that a little more difficult than it might have been. Good work from Clay. Anderson to Clay. Clay looking to attack. Backs his way down, loses the ball though. Leicester come away with it.
Good defense again from Charles Thompson, just stays in front of him, he's strong enough, and then the dig down there. And the black jerseys, they get the stop.
Jackson surveying his options. Goes himself, not quite, batted out, but only as far as Johnson. Right for three, big shot, back iron, and it comes out to Nixon.
The space just seemed to open up in front of them. I don't think he wanted to shoot the ball, but the opportunity presented itself to him.
Nixon. Oh, he's lost the ball going up with it. Leicester come down with it. They're tired, aren't they? They're tired out there.
Both teams, you can tell.
It's only 3-2 here in the fourth quarter. Thompson gets to the middle and jams it down.
Wow, Charles Thompson off the spin and then don't finish. There's one man that doesn't look tired, and that's him.
He's the Energizer Bunny of this team, isn't he? He could keep going. McGill driving through, and he's caught by Abercrombie. That's going to be the fourth on Abercrombie, and it's going to be 2 more free throws for Ricky McGill. You feel like if Sheffield are going to win, it's going to be Ricky McGill time. He seems to be the one taking the initiative right now. As the Team Alliance makes a change with Ratino and Reese coming in for Nixon and Groves.
Again, it's a more defensive-oriented team, isn't it?
Yeah.
You subtract Groves and Prentice Nixon. We haven't quite been able to settle into this overtime yet. I can't even remember too many times that Prentice Nixon's touched the ball, and Ricky McGill missing a free throw.
There. His first missed free throw of the game.
Wow. He was 4 for 4 up to that point.
He's missed them both, and Wright gets the rebound. Wright stops, goes, drops it off to Abercrombie, trying to find room. There really isn't any. Oh, there is. Oh, but he doesn't get it. It's tapped out. Reese has it.
My goodness.
Ratino driving in. Somehow gets it up. It's tipped away. What a play from Thompson to deny Clay.
Huge. He's prevented a layup put back there from Clay. Those are the little plays that make such a big impact. Sheffield now struggling to score.
It's only 5-2 in the period, in overtime.
And they've only scored at free throws, no field goal.
Oh, that's up high pass. Johnson's done well to catch it. Can he get the shot away? He does. Right with the going after it, but Reese comes down with it. Into the final 2 minutes. Here's McGill at speed, drops it off to Clay, and Clay lays it in. And a flop warning for Thompson on the floor.
Ricky McGill again, isn't it? It's him. It's him, the one initiating, creating, and a good call from the referee. Good pass there to his big man, and Clay gets that one to go.
Oh, Ricky McGill is a man who does not want to be denied here. Leicester still lead by 1 with 1:43 to go. Ethan Wright. Oh, Johnson's hit the deck. He gets back up in time. Johnson gets it to Wright, down to Thompson. Not much time to work with. Thompson goes to the hook. It's off the mark. It's tipped in by Ethan Wright.
Wow, that's massive. Ethan Wright just skying above everyone else. Sometimes it's who wants it more, and Ethan Wright wanted it.
McGill back to Anderson. McGill again. Round the screen. Gets the switch. Thought about the three. Hands it off instead. Throws it away. Jackson comes away with it. Does he run the clock or do they go for a score? He runs the clock. Time of the essence. He's picked it up. He needs some help. They've still got a mismatch in the post, by the way. Here it is. Double team comes. Out to Johnson underneath, and Johnson will lay it in with 36.4 seconds to go. Leicester have a two-possession push-in, and Atiba Lyons calls for a tie.
Unbelievable patience there from Leicester Riders. There was good movement as well. Joel Thompson.
Oh, there's been a technical called. Who's the technical on? It's Ricky McGill. I think it's on Ricky McGill. I think Ricky McGill's got a technical in that. I think it was Ricky McGill has got a technical. I'm not quite sure for what. I've just seen the number 1 signal to the table, and the number 5 has gone up, and Leicester don't have a number 1, and Ricky McGill was on 4 fouls. If that's him gone, surely Sheffield are in massive. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. I don't know. I didn't see anything.
No, me neither.
No idea what he did, but Leicester will get a free throw coming out of it. Let's see if we can see what happens on the basket. So there's the lay-in. Here's Ricky McGill. Oh, he's thrown it at the stanchion. That's exactly what they gave Jalen Hunter one for, and it's a frustration thing. But they gave one to Hunter, so they have to give one to him, and I'm not sure I like either of them, but you've got to be consistent.
No,
with
I agreed. I don't like either of them, but I do like that consistency among the calls. I think we asked for that more than anything.
Now, they just said something, and Ricky McGill's got 4 fouls, so who is the technical on? Well, I'm not quite sure. Ricky McGill is back in the game, and he had been on 4 fouls. So I don't know. I thought the technical was on him. I'm massively confused. It's going to be Abercrombie shooting a free throw. I'm not sure how McGill is still in the game because he was on 4. That's why Atiba took him out earlier. Well, Abercrombie makes it. Well, something was announced that McGill is only on 4 fouls, so whether the table had got it wrong earlier, I'm not sure. But he's definitely still in the game. Leicester are up 6. Reese, Jackson's on the floor. Reese is open. Jackson recovers. Reese for 3. Misses. Leicester have the rebound. And now they just want to run some clock. Sheffield need to foul. And Clay does foul. And it'll be 2 free throws. But that is somebody's 5th foul. Somebody's fouled out. I'll wait to see who walks off now. Lost control, lost track. I think it's Clay. Anderson is going to come back in. It is Donovan Clay. Even he went, is it me? Is it me? I don't know, Donovan. I think it is. Well, 1 free throw here is surely all Leicester need. They're up 6. This would 1 free throw would push it to a 3-possession game. Well, I think watching at home on DAZN, you have seen one of the games of the season here. 2 teams slugging it out from opening tip to overtime buzzer, and it looks like Leicester are going to do it. Groves drives in, gets all the way to the basket for a quick score, gets it back to 6. Needs a foul. Need a foul. Oh, it's a steal instead, even better. And what a monster jam. What a monster jam from Reese. It's not quite done yet. 5.9 seconds to go. It's almost done, but it's not quite done. What a monster jam that was.
Just when you think nothing else can happen. Goodness me, Reese the 5th. What a steal. An unbelievable dunk. Lucky it's not an and one, Dan. Look at this. Wow.
Well, he almost compounded the error. Reese let him know about it, didn't he?
He did.
Rob Paternoster can't believe that his team haven't seen this one over the line. All you've got to do is either wait for the foul or find a teammate, not throw it straight to them and get dunked on.
But Sheffield didn't foul straight away.
No,
they were looking for the steal first. It was really good discipline from them just to see if they could get the steal initially.
Well, Leicester basically have to find a black shirt here. If you find a black shirt, you win the game.
Yeah.
The only way you can lose the game is by doing something stupid. Get the ball into a teammate will be the message. Might be slightly more elaborate than that. He might have drawn a few more things on the board, then get the ball to a teammate. But that's what it boils down to. One pass to one teammate for Leicester to basically win the game. It's into Abercrombie, and that will do it. Well, Ricky McGill's going to foul. I think he's fouled out now. It is number 5 that goes up, and Ricky McGill goes to the bench.
Ricky McGill didn't want to foul either because obviously he knew that would be the end of his night.
Well, it matters not. I think with 2.9 seconds to go, Spencer Johnson, even if he misses them both, will be okay. He makes the first, and now even a silly foul on a 3-point shot can't lose you the game. An unbelievable, I didn't even ask you for an MVP, Ant, an unbelievable game.
MVP Zach Jackson.
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent.
Nixon from half court doesn't go. An incredible game of basketball, and somehow, without their backup center, their backup point guard, with their point guard being disqualified, with players playing 40-plus minutes, somehow the Leicester Riders have seen off the Sheffield Sharks by 100 points to 95.
And what a contest it was to watch, Dan. It had absolutely everything. And just when you thought the game was dead, it came back alive on a numerous amounts of occasions. Look back to how we got to this position.
Ricky McGill's
shot, unbelievable. And then Zach Jackson, the three-pointer that hit the sky top before dropping.
Well, that was one of the games of the Super League basketball season. Make no mistake about that. Two teams who absolutely left everything out on the floor. And Sheffield will be gutted that they didn't quite get it over the line there, but they played an incredible game of basketball. And Leicester somehow managed to see that one through. They've got to dust themselves down and go again. They're in Cheshire in less than 24 hours, by the way. I think Ben Thomas would have enjoyed overtime more than anybody else out there. But just an amazing basketball game. And the Atiba Lions, oh, he can only wonder what if one or two plays here or there. Here are the numbers. In some ways, they don't really tell you the everything. They couldn't possibly tell you everything that happened in that game. 9 of 19 from three-point range for the Leicester Riders, but really, it just tip of the iceberg in terms of everything that happened in this contest. And Leicester Riders get their first league win over Sheffield this season. And, well, they won't have worked harder for a game all campaign, I should imagine. The ice bath will be in demand here at the Mattioli Arena. I think they'll all need a rub down and a relax after that before they get on that bus to Ellesmere Port. Well, let's hear from our MVP. Zach Jackson is with Ant.
Zach, well, firstly, what a game. There's got to be candidate for game of the season there. 100 to 95. You lost a close one to these guys up in Sheffield. Let me collect your first initial thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we've been losing these ones all year. That was a tough shot he hit to end, and I'm proud that we stuck with it and won it out in overtime.
And then ever so present yourself in the fourth quarter. You seem to always want to step up and make those big plays. 28 points from you, 43 minutes, Zach Jackson. Unbelievable performance from yourself.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I knew I was going to play a lot of minutes and just try to make as many plays we needed this one.
And obviously you're battling for the top spot of the table. You got less than 24 hours to play again. How do you turn things around in such a short space of time?
I'm gonna go get in an ice bath and go home and try to sleep as soon as possible.
Well, look, we'll let you get that well-earned rest. Congrats, you're MVP tonight.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Well, he deserves that ice bath, that's for sure. Zach Jackson, he is just the guy who always delivers for this Leicester Riders team. 28 points, 5 assists, no turnovers, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, index rating of 31. A really impressive performance, and he came up with some clutch shots, no doubt about that. And he finds a way of just finessing the ball into the basket, no matter what. That was the most remarkable of them all. Let's hear from Coach Rob Paternostro. He is without.
Paternostro has to be candidate for game of the season there. 100-95. Give us your initial report.
Our guys battled, man. You know, they kept battling. Obviously, we're down Duke, down Connor. You can see the fatigue. Then they made that prayer. Well, Jalen got ejected. Then they made that prayer, but the guys never quit. And I love this team, coaching them all season, because they're honest, hard-working guys, and we saw that today. What a win.
On that point there, Jalen Hunter, you lost your starting point guard with 6.5 minutes to go, but the team didn't look out of sorts. You know, you lose a player that averages 7 assists per game. You feel the heart of the offense is gone, but it didn't look bad.
Well, I thought Ethan Wright did a hell of a job. You know, we obviously had Jalen out and also Connor out to our third point guard, but Wright handled himself really well. I thought the rest of the guys did a good job on defense and then didn't buckle. You know, when you give up a 3 like that and you go to overtime, you wonder what the reaction is. But I was so proud of the way they came out. They weren't going to be denied tonight.
I mean, logically as well, Sharks had the advantage of the depth today. You would think in overtime that would be their advantage, but today it wasn't. Your guys seemed to grow in unity. Defensively, they were excellent in the overtime.
Yeah, I thought excellent in the overtime. I thought our rebounding today was really good. We came up with some big rebounds, and yeah, you know, we've been in a lot of close games, and the ball hasn't bounced our way at times this year, but I had a good feeling about the way the guys looked in the huddle this time. I told them we're going to win this game no matter what, and hey, you know, we would do one of these.
So, and you've got a game now less than 24 hours from now. You're going to turn it around, Coach?
We'll see. It's a very tough schedule, tough thing to do, but we'll enjoy this one for a little while and get ourselves ready to go for it tomorrow. Another thing, I thought the crowd was excellent tonight. Great atmosphere in here. This is what it's all about. British basketball, come to a game because the atmosphere is incredible at times.
Well, it was incredible to watch, incredible to call. Congrats on the win. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Well said, Coach, because the atmosphere was unbelievable. Fans from both sets of teams really making themselves heard and really creating a raucous atmosphere. Here is the results from tonight's action. Leicester winning in overtime 100-95. Bristol bringing to an end Caledonia's 3-game win streak with an 81-62 victory in Manchester, while taking full advantage of no doubt a tired Newcastle team after their exploits at midweek and winning that one by 31 points. A big win for Manchester in their bid for a top 4 finish. Well, you might feel a bit tired, but the games keep coming thick and fast in Super League basketball. Make sure you're with us on DAZN. Tomorrow we got 2 games for you. The league leaders, London, go against Surrey. Surrey have beaten them multiple times already this season. Can they do it again? Do Leicester have the energy to live with the high-octane offense of the Cheshire Phoenix after their exploits tonight? Find out tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then we've got 3 games on Sunday. Surrey on the back-to-back going to Bristol. Cheshire on the back-to-back going to Manchester. And Sheffield trying to bounce back against the Newcastle Eagles. That one is at 4 o'clock. We hope it will be as dramatic as it has been tonight. What a victory for the Leicester Riders. They've beaten the Sheffield Shots in overtime. For AMRO, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.